little bit late today. We are doing the live today from Canberra, our great nation's capital. That is correct. And how exciting it is to be down here for the Maloney's last long lunch. And they are doing it on behalf of a great charity, Raw Potential, for housing for youth in Canberra. So exciting to be down here. I've got some great clients and great friends from Canberra, so looking forward to it. As well as that, I'm also the Canberra Cup ambassador this year, and you talk about the Canberra Cup, we've won that twice. Arapaho and Samadout, and they both went on to win Group 1s. And talking about the Expressway Stakes tomorrow, won that twice as well. 2 Group 1 winners as well, Music Magnate and the Great Overpass. She's coming up fantastic. Of course, it's a big week, had a lot going on with the English sales. We'll get to that shortly, but the highlight was undoubtedly Unleashing. She really did unleash. She had to do it tough from the wide gate. The race sort of worked out against her, so I thought it was a phenomenal win. We've always thought she's proper Saturday grade and probably slightly better, so that was really exciting. I think it's just a bit tricky whether we put her up and trip now, whether we try and give her 4 weeks between runs into a race like the Aspiration that we won last year with a little buyer. But she is a really, really good mare, just starting to live up to that potential. I know Monty VB did not win, but he didn't parade well pre-race, so I lost a little bit of confidence there, and he was jumping straight to Saturday grade. So I think that second up syndrome may have played or taken its toll with him. So he's much better for that. I think he'll either run next Saturday or the Wednesday following, and I think he'll be very competitive and probably bounce back to what he did first up. So just keep that in mind. Extra Glow, a lovely well-bred extreme choice filly. She won really well, and she's gone for a break. She's only going to get better the further she goes and in time. So she was, funnily enough, bought from the English sales, and we had a really good winner on Sunday called Hey Jude, and a super maiden. She came from the back of the field and really was way too good for them down the outside. So I think she's got plenty of upside and got a future, so keep an eye on her. We had a heap of trialers during the week, but I've got to make a shout out. Happy birthday to Jackie Curry, of course the Curry family involved in Steffi Magnetica. I think she's 30, either 30 or 35, but we'll see you tomorrow. Of course, Steffi Magnetica back on track tomorrow, but we'll get to that a bit soon, or soon enough. I've got no sidekick, I'm on my own today, so be patient. If I run out of breath, I'm good at talking, but it's a tough ask. Any questions? We've got 3. Senjutsu looked good after his trial. He is a nice horse, another good horse for Derby. They had another nice horse first trial too yesterday, Malua Bay. He's got plenty of upside that they bought at the Ready to Run. And Nino regarding Cabalas, we'll get to that later on. And David, any update on Point and Shoot and Raikkonen? Point and Shoot's probably a little bit further on than Raikkonen. He's coming up well. Raikkonen was really disappointing last preparation. He's got the ability, he's got to jump back to it. So there we go. Some of the trialers. Pericles trialled well yesterday. He's going to go to the Futurity. We had Riccini, who was bought out of the English Ready to Run sale. She went enormous. It ran a really nice time. She's only had the one start in Stakes Company, then was sold at the Ready to Run sale. So she's found her way probably via a bit of a circuitous route into the stable, but very happy to have her. Keep an eye on her. We've got Arriving Home, who is going to run next Saturday. She trialled well too in a really strong heat. I think she's going to be in a tough race. Euripides is going to go to the Silver Slipper next week. And the form from his first starts held up pretty well. He was really good in the blinkers yesterday. Malua Bay, I've touched on. Dark Matter, he's gone for a break, but he's a really nice son of Cosmic Force. I think you can keep an eye on him. Compensation won brilliantly, really good time, so might look for another trial or race for him. And Horseshoe Hill was definitely a filly to watch, a really promising 3-year-old filly. Had plenty of time on her. Now, English Classic sale, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we bought 5 purchases. I thought we got excellent value. They're pretty much all gone, bar a small share in the Ole Kirk Euphoric Summer. Now, Euphoric Summer is a half to Steffi Magnetica, so it's a breed very close to our heart. And of course, Ole Kirk, the sire of Ole, and a lot of the Steffi Magnetica owners are back in this filly, so there's not much left. If you're interested, contact Georgia. And we've got a small part left in the Home Affairs Homebird filly, as you have probably realised we're buying a few home affairs. I think he's a stallion on the way up, and I think he's good value at this stage. So they're selling really well. We've got, I think, 1 or 2 horses left from New Zealand. So have a look at our website, bjornbakerracing.com.au. Any interest, contact Georgia. That's the one thing I can say well. Never run out of gas for that, so to speak. I better touch on Paradoxium and Warwoven. Both had a good gallop during the week and both recovered very well, so that is really good. At this stage, Warwoven could head towards the Skyline on the 28th, and Paradoxium could well go to the Todman. He's going to have to win to make the Golden Slipper. Warwoven is probably just about in with the prize money. He's got, of course, 2 from 2. Big shout out to Mick Farrell too. The Honey, sweet as can be. I've only got 2 sponsors, sweet as can be, Honey and Toyota Material Handling. Work hard all day, every day. And of course, we've got the Winter Olympics on. Australia had their first gold overnight when it comes to Winter Olympics. Ja Patelides Svenska, Bjorn from Sverige. And I think it's worth taking note as we're in Canberra, of course, the Australian Institute of Sport here. One of the greatest athletes of all time, the greatest male Winter Olympian of all time, Bjorn Daly. Had a VO2 max bigger than Winx's. There you go. Little bit of trivia, but we've got the ice hockey coming up, which if you're in Canada, Sweden, the Scandinavian countries, Russia unfortunately is not there, but the ice hockey, Sweden play Finland tonight, which is bigger than, is huge. It's like the NRL finals. Right, we'll get into the racing, we'll go into the tips. So tonight we've got Canterbury, 4 in, race 5, Shalar Gold. There's a heap of scratchings, he's going to roll forward. I think he's much improved for his first up run. Josh Parr on, he's a good chance. We've got Strata Verena with James McDonald on. She's got an awkward gate, she's going to have to overcome it, but she ran really well in town, back to midweek grade. I think she goes in a really good each way chance. I'd probably lean towards her. There is a bit of speed there, so Shalar Gold's going to have to roll forward. That's his way to win. So I think they're both really good chances. Probably leaning towards Strata Verena, albeit need luck. Then we go into race 6, Pillow Fight. She ran super in town last time. She had 2 and nearly 3 weeks between runs. 1550 suits. Dylan Gibbons on. We can be positive whether she leads or just sits off them. I think up to 1550 suits. I think she's a great chance. She looks well. Her work's been good since, and she's much more of a race day racehorse. So hopefully she can run well, and we'll look for better things. Then we go into the race 7, Slinky. James McDonald on, a little bit of an awkward gate, but hopefully she can settle just midfield. She's definitely up to it, and I think she's in good order. She had a little bit of a muscle twinge maybe a few weeks ago, seems to be fine now, so she goes in a good hope. Saturday, Newcastle, race 2, Alman's Ass. He's coming back from a City maiden up to an 1890 maiden. Aaron Bullock, one of the best on, will need to be one of the best because he's drawn 14 of 14, but I think he goes in a good chance. I think 1890 really suits. On Monday we've got Shirley's Tribute with Ash Morgan on. She's a filly that we just can't get to the races. She's been twice when the races have been called off. Fortunately last week she brushed her hips, so she's desperate to run, and she'll probably need it just because there's been so much time. And we're going to Randwick. I think I've covered everything. Geez, tough ask. Any questions? We'll have a bit of a breather. From Bredel915, what's your opinion of Helen's Way? Nice horse, went to the gates this morning, flew out, winner over 1200 has come over, and I'm pretty impressed with him in terms of what he's done so far. So we'll get him to a couple of trials and then the races, but so far so good. Here we go, Tony from Ashurst. Hey, Tony is a part owner in Overpass. Hope you're all well, mate. Big shout out. Kirsty has Midnight Dynamite. He's back in the stable. He's really well. We know he loves a little bit of cut in the track. Hopefully he'll be up going late autumn into winter. Colin Smith, is it possible that Unleashing is good enough for a chance at the Doncaster? Possibly, but not this year. She's simply just not going to be able to accumulate the rating points to make the race. So one step at a time, small steps. She's been an immature done deal filly, now mare, but I think you won't see the best of her till next year, but maybe next year or a possibility. Alrighty. Then we get into Randwick Expressway Stakes Day, and only the 4 runners. Race 4, Miss Kim Carr was really good last time. She's got a good gait. There's 3 of 20, albeit there's 3 scratchings already. There'll probably be a few more. The favourite's going to be hard to beat, but I think she can sit closer. Last time we had to go all the way back, and she made good ground out wide. So I think she's a good each rate show. And then we've got Pillow Fight, who's drawn 2 with Alicia Collin on, no weight, 52 kilos. And I think last time we just had to use her a little bit to go forward. So I think up to 1400 they may go a little bit slower. Hopefully she'll be able to get a gun run midfielder just in front of it with no weight. She's always had the ability. She's got to start delivering. I'm probably going to lean towards Miss Kim Carr with the recent form there. I think she goes in a good each way chance. Then we go into race 7, the Expressway Stakes over 1200. Set weights and penalties. And that is a big condition of the race because Cabalas does get in very well, is only a Group 3 winner, but the field is very, very tough. There's no hiding that. Lady Shenandoah, Jolie Star, Angel Capital, so there's nowhere to hide. Drawn 4 of 6. We'll very much leave it up to Tommy Berry, and he is really getting the best out of this horse. So last time in the George Moore, he was dominant. He ran the hands off the clock. I think the one thing about him is he runs well and he looks well, and he looks absolutely fantastic at the moment, and very much leave it up to Tommy. So in the George Moore he led, he took the race by the scruff of the neck, so maybe that's an option, but in a small tactical race we'll very much leave it up to Tom Berry. I think he's a great chance, and I think he looks really well. He's coming in with a bit of residual fitness, and the conditions of the race suit him. So if we're ever going to meet some of the best sprinters in the country, it's a little bit on our terms, but just mindful it's a very, very tough race. But I think he goes in a great chance. And if he goes well, of course the Newmarket is a possible next step. And maybe, who knows, Everest. Did I say that? Everest? Yeah, why not? You got a dream. Then we go into race 8, one of the stable stalwarts. You talk about them, and Steffi Magnetica is back in the Apollo Stakes, drawn 10 of 10. So very awkward. Once again, interesting race, 1400 first up. Probably not a whole heap of tempo, and a lot will depend in terms of where we get to and how the track's playing, but just going to make it tricky. I would have loved her to draw a gate. She can sit closer, we know that, but she's got a big prep in front of her, so we don't necessarily want to lead or do anything outlandish, but she's really great. Right, we've got some people saying Lobby's tip, Lobby's tip, Lobby's tip. The way they've been going, I'd be laying Lobby's tip, but here we go. Lobby's tip is tonight, race 4, I think, Strada Varina, James McDonald on. Luke's tip is Cabalas, and I'm on the same page as Luke. And George's tip was going to be Cabalas, but she's changed it to Pillow Fight. Rightio. Couple more questions. Lyndon, when will Snack Bar be back? He will be. He's back in pre-training, so probably 3 or 4 weeks. We'll just try and keep him fresh. Short course. Definitely towards the end of last prep he trained off a bit. If I had my time again, we would change things. So I think there's plenty of upside with him. And Owen, you've got Luke and Lobby's tips. Dylan Gibbons joined. Dylan, just remember, there's only 3 things we can blame. The trainer, we won't be doing that. The horse, we won't be doing that. Or the jockey, and you're the only one watching. So you are under the gun. I'll be watching closely tonight, and I'll be there tomorrow. Good question. Where is I Am Dirty? She's just come back into the stable. I think she's an exceptionally exciting 2-year-old, and only the 1 trial for a very good trial. We've got a question. How's Rock Chant looking? Yeah, looking really, really good. Just remember on this, I'm the only comedian. And that's about it, folks. Better Off Alone's going well. and hope you have a great weekend. Exciting racing. It's starting to build up, but as it builds up, it gets more competitive and tougher and tougher and tougher. And I just hope I'm as happy next week. Take care. Have a great weekend.